And finally, here we go, it's my time. Hello everyone, it's me, a cataclysmic. Right, so I've only got 2.5 minutes to do this, so let's crack on. Because I did way too much stuff in here because I didn't spend the first hour golfing.
It's okay.
And then here we are, joining this beautiful world full of gravestones. Why did no one clear these out? Ah, yes, there we go. Cover me in vanity. Cover me in vanity. That's much better. Right, let's get looking through all of these chests. These really, really badly managed chests. I am not embarrassed to admit it, but I spent over 6 minutes looking through all of these chests just to find stuff, and even then I missed things. After looking through all of these well-organized chests, I decided to go buy myself some arrows, and I'm going to turn them into cursed arrows later, because I'm going to need them. After buying every single arrow that existed in the world, I ended up looking through these signs and not really paying any attention to them. Like this one that told me that the loot is at the edge of the world, and for some reason I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and just complained to myself as to why I don't have proper gear. And of course, due to the fact I didn't have any proper gear, I thought, well, I should probably go out and go get myself some proper tools. So I went to hell to go get myself a molten stone pickaxe so I could mine some palladium, because that's the first step of doing this, apparently. But of course, during the molten process, I accidentally ended up summoning the wall of flesh, which I almost killed until I got stuck in a bloody wall. And so then I decided the next course of action was to go to the underground Hallow biome and get myself a gelatin crystal so I could fight Queen Slime. And then during my travels, I come across this, which I immediately identify as a guardian killer. My god, we get 2.5 hours to play, and someone decided this was the best course of time use. Anyways, I spent a few minutes down here digging away, trying to get myself some crystals and a gelatin crystal if I can find one. Luckily enough, I found 3. And while I was down here, I decided to kill as many elementals as I could find, just in the hopes I could get everyone on Discord. Did anyone drop one? No, they did not. With the assistance of my flying ship, we managed to take out the Queen Slime pretty easily, even though we were greatly underpowered and really took a beating. And of course, we opened the bag, and what are we greeted with? Not everything we wanted, so we had to go and fight the bloody thing once again. Do you have any idea how long it takes to beat Master Mode Queen Slime when you're not powered up for it? After defeating this Queen Slime, we're actually greeted with the boots we wanted, which is fantastic. We can move on to the next thing. During my little investigation in all these chests, I also found a magic conch, and I remembered that little sign. I used it, went to the left, went to the right, and there it was. All this time, I have been suffering majorly with underpowered gear when the chest was waiting between me. After acquiring the chest of goodies, I went and left a sign promptly to the but did this, rushed off to the gunslinger, got some bullets, turned into crystal bullets, and then loaded up. Then after that, I decided the next best course of action was to kill Destroyer. But of course, the bloody thing decided to summon a slime rain. Time to waste some time trying to kill the King Slime. Oh wait, it despawned on me. That means I'm gonna kill another 100 bloody slimes just for the King Slime to respawn. And then finally, I actually managed to summon the Destroyer, and look how bloody long it took. That moon is almost at the end. But luckily, we managed to blow it up just before it turned to daytime. Fantastic! That was absolute agony dodging the lasers for that bloody long, yet somehow survived first try. This ship is a lot more useful than I ever gave it credit for. I guess flying around constantly has its advantages. After ripping the souls of might from its corpse, of course I ended up making myself a mega shark. Once I bought everything and sold a load of stuff just to buy the remaining parts, the next fun part was having to go and get the bloody shark fins, which we just teleported back and forth, going in and out of the water until we finally killed enough of them. After realizing these signs were actually quests that we were giving to each other, I decided to make my own, because I wanted to screw the next person over a little bit. I added my own little bit of signage to the frozen toast because crumpets are amazing. After that, I promptly told everyone that it was me that cleared the gravestones because someone should have bloody done it beforehand, but never mind, I'm just going to be the cleanup crew. I then cleaned up this sign to actually make it say what it should have said all along, coloured it up a little bit, added my signature, took off my armour, and closed. Anyways, with that aside, thank you so much, Thrubbin, for letting me join in on this little bit of fun in Past the World. Now the next person can deal with it. I'm out of here. I still haven't found my confidence mask.
Hello everyone, it's me, your cataclysmic, and much to Throbbin's dismay, I've got access to more helium because I turned 30. Huzzah! Anyways, we're back for another episode of Past the World. I'm number 6, and I best get started because I've got 3 hours to work and 5 minutes to make it into a video, so let's crack on with all the nonsense we got doing. Yay!
Ah, good old helium, so fun to use. Anyways, certainly wasn't the place I was expecting to spawn, and I can see the no communication thing is already being broken by these signs. Oh well, rules are made to be broken. And of course, before anything begins, I must do the most important thing. Cover me in vanity. Cover me in vanity. Oh, that's better. I enter this hole, which I assume is the main entrance, and, okay, I've never played as the Zenith seed before or legendary, and judging by all these gravestones, I'm in for one heck of a time. My first job is to find a pylon so I can teleport down to the hell base. Why we started in the sky is completely unknown to me, whatever. Creeper. But now I'm here, I can teleport down here, and, chests. Let's hope they're better organised than last time. Oh well, bugger me, they've actually labelled them this time. Huzzah, that saves some time. I had a quick ponder, wearing where I was in progression, and it would appear, judging by this sign and this ridiculous bridge, that we're on the wall of flesh. I know for an absolute fact that I am not going to be able to deal with that thing because of the imps. So we're going to go with a different plan, but that requires a ridiculous amount of work, so let's crack on with it. I bought a bunch of dynamite and acquired a bunch of track. Lucky for me, one of these chests had 2 of those things in abundance, so that's going to save me some time and money. Building this track was absolutely infuriating. Every single time I got back on the minecart and placed a single bloomin' track, we had beats and slimes and demons everywhere. Kill them all off, get back on the track, place a track, and they all come back again. Ridiculous, it took me forever to build this track. If they just left me alone, maybe things could have gone better. But this is Zenith, of course it'll be hair-rippingly difficult. Why did they choose this? What's wrong with you people? There's no peace, it's endless. Death after death after death, just trying to build a railway system to fight a wall. I also forgot about the queen bees that spawned down here. I blew one up, I got killed by it, I then went straight back, blew another one up and got killed by it, I then went straight back and completely forgot about it, and then just blew another one up and got killed by that one. At least I learnt my lesson, but only after I saw 3 of them in a row. What is this nonsense? Look at it! Anyways, after wasting a whole hour on building this lot, I utilised the ridiculous amount of platinum I've been storing up after killing all these things, burned through every single bit of it trying to modify a few things. Look at this nonsense! It just keeps going! And then we summon the wall of flesh. At first we did get our kick just a little bit because those imps and their fireballs are brutal. But after a while they just seem to fade away. I guess they have nowhere to teleport properly to actually shoot me. And with the last speck of track we have remaining, wall of flesh dies, and I need to go change my pants. I make a mad dash for the surface using the hole I came in at the beginning, went straight over to the Crimson and broke every single altar I could find, avoiding all the stuff coming my way. I was a moth on a mission, I needed those altars. And now for the boring part, I mined cobalt, turned it into bars, made a pickaxe, got mithril, turned it into bars, made the anvil, made a pickaxe, mined titanium, got an adamant type forge, turned the titanium into bars, made the armor, made the repeater, and finally got to carry on with hard mode. And during all that nonsense, a jungle mimic appeared, I tried my best to kill it and it just disappeared off screen. And the hornets! The hornets! They would not leave me alone. Oh, core blimey, I'm running out of time. I went up into space because I needed to get some wyverns because I needed souls to fly, and instead I ended up leaving the Earth's orbit. Did I learn from that? No, I didn't, because I immediately did it again. After killing 2 wyverns, I realized I had no souls of night, so I went straight off to the Crimson to go get some and died 3 times while doing it. My goal here was to kill Medusa, but I didn't realize what I was getting myself in for. After a bunch of farming, I had enough materials to make 2 of the summons. I summoned the first one in hell, that was a really bad idea. I don't know what I was doing, but I died while trying. I then had a plan of action and went all the way back up to the surface and then fought it up there, but for some reason the twins and Prime despawned, so all I was doing is fighting Destroyer. I managed to kill Destroyer, luckily, but it took 7 whole minutes to do it, and then died to a wyvern. Since I knew I wouldn't be able to kill it, I instead decided to go all the way to the beach because I wanted to fight Duke Fishon because I got 1 summon. However, I knew that getting there would be an absolute nightmare, so instead I went to the Aether so I could build a home there, and then put a pylon down. After placing a pylon, I then blew a hole all the way down to it so I could then get to the ocean easier, and then made a home so I could then blah, 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 blah. Conveniently, this part is completely free of any evil, so that means NPCs can be here. Fantastic! After quickly building an arena, I summoned Duke Fishon, got it to half health, and then died to it anyway, so that's the end of that. I went back, placed my own sign because I guess communication is absolutely fine now, took off my armor, and closed. Anyways, thank you again, Throbbin, for letting me join in on this little bit of fun in Past the World. I'm off.
It's me, a cataclysmic Armageddon! But much to Throbbin's excitement, that was the last of my helium, so I am very disappointed.
I've used an awful lot of helium on you, Throbbin. I think you need to send me a new tank as compensation. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Past the World. I'm number 13, and let's get into essentially what is going to be me murdering a ton of bosses, or at least the bosses that I'm allocated. But anyway, who cares? Calamity! After spawning into the world, we find ourselves just outside the dungeon with quite the messy inventory and a bunch of weapons that, yeah, these things are going to have to be changed immediately. But before we do anything like that, we have to do the most important thing. Go home and look at the storage situation. However, I can't just pop over to the forest pylons because there's no pylons in range. So I run over to this pylon and use that pylon to go to this pylon. Why didn't I just use the magic mirror? I didn't notice it. I'm blind. After accessing the magic storage and clearing my inventory of all this rubbish, I then decided to cover myself in vanity. That's better. After nosing my way through the storage system, I found the exact weapon I wanted without having to craft it. These 2 glorious little dragons. I also grabbed a buttload of potions while I was here, because I'm gonna need them. And as I was about to go back to the astral pylon, I noticed there was a pylon all the way down here in the brimstone, with a tube that ran all the way up to the boss room. After accessing the room and settling down my mothy posterior, I summoned in my minions and began the fight with Ceaseless Void. And core blimey, does this poor thing get mangled. Due to the fact that Ceaseless Void loves to hold still, and these dragons love things that hold still, and we've got a whip that gives crit chance, and all the potions and everything, sometimes it didn't even have the chance to use basically anything when it was going idle. I mean, just look how quick this is! All these balls come flying in, these ones don't even get a chance to fire at me! Although to this day, I still do not understand how these orbs work. They're just... where do I go? And of course, due to this combination, Ceaseless Void perishes very quickly. And you know, since I am already down here in the dungeon, I acquire myself some necroplasm so I can acquire myself a necroplasmic beacon. For, of course, it is now time to deal with Poltergust. So after farming here for a little bit, we go back home, make the beacon, come back, and Poltergust time, hello! And of course, in the typical Calamity unique AI fashion, it basically just goes Plantera. But with more projectiles. Circly, circly, angry, angry, dashy, dashy, deathy, deathy. Whole thing didn't even stand a chance. Oh well, I've got time on my bus, let's do it again.
You may never regain souls as long as I live!
With Poltergast defeat, that means the Abyss is now completely opened up to me, which we'll be dealing with later, but first it is time to acquire myself some Blood Flare armor. So of course I do the most optimal thing to get said Bloodstones. I summon a Blood Moon, kill a bunch of enemies, head down to the Brimstone, get a bunch of the stuff from there. I also quickly crafted myself some Vacuum Potions because whee! Look at all the items go!
Come to me! Be one with me, items!
And with that out of the way, we have enough blood cores to make a full set of Summoner Blood Flare. Ooh. I also got the Cirrus and modified it. So with that out of the way, we're now going to head over to the Abyss. So first we go see Mr. Seahorse to get a bubble of protection, and using a different hole, we're going to go straight up this one and then into the Abyss. I am so glad someone made this. There's only two things I'm after in here, Reaper Teeth and a Bobbit. Oh, there it is! Thank you! As for the Reaper Teeth, our first shark and... oh. Alright, so we head back to the Abyss and... oh! So we head back to the Seahorse, get our bubble, and then go back to the Abyss, where I successfully kill off some sharks, whatever the hell this is. I then get double teamed by a worm and a Reaver Shark, get killed by it, but still reign victorious because summons are beautiful little things.
Even though I lost, I won!
I then head back home to make a Ruby Tooth necklace, however I don't have all the components, so I try and force some rain, go to the desert, turns out that doesn't work. So instead I go down to the sulfuric biome to farm some... oh look, bloodworms! Oh! No bug net. Stay there. Typical. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, and we're good to go. Time for old Duke. I've got nothing to say about it. Let's just speed run through this and carry on. No one cares about old Duke. It's just a thing that's there. To the desert, I have a sandstorm now. Kill off a bunch of little sharks, kill off Great Shark, go back home, make the thing, make the starred necklace, blah 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 blah, let's get going. I craft the cosmic worm so I can summon Devourer of Gods, but I also found out at the same time that someone forgot to make the elderberry, so I took all of that for them, you're welcome. Devourer of Gods has been summoned, and after beating the living daylights out of it in phase 1, phase 2 spawned, and I... what the fuck? Fudge? Was that? I dashed through your head, you little... whoa, how dare you! Round 2, into phase 2, and... there you go. What do you want me to say about it? Devourer of Gods, how many times have you seen this fight? This fight has been seen more times than almost any other kind of fight in Terraria. What do you want me to say? Oh look, it's a worm that does this, and it does that, and it teleports. It's a worm, it's Devourer of Gods, it's boring. With the mechwork summon it dropped, I used it to defeat the Frost Moon, Pumpkin Moon, and the Eclipse to get all the items I need to start crafting the good stuff. After acquiring said good stuff, I upgrade my tracers, craft the Nucleogenesis, upgrade my Cirrus, modify it all, and then craft some silver armor. To assist the next person to make the auric armor, I also made some Godslayer armor. However, I need to kill Devourer of Gods again, and bloody hell man, get your head in the game, take this seriously. And then craft the Dragon Egg so I can fight Yaren. Not to kill it, just so I can set up an arena. Boop, boop, done, kill me. And then surrounded the area off with walls, did what Throbbing doesn't and destroyed that bloody Sky Island, placed down a bunch of rails so you can yeet yourself off of them with the bobbit hook, whee! And had to deal with a poxy invasion! And with that, I went back home, took off my armor and clothes. But that's not where the story ends. Throbbing, this one's on your own time. Throbbing wanted me to mess with Skeletron a little bit. So I thought, what's the best way to make Skeletron suffer right at the beginning? Well, I jumbled up all of the items in the inventory, clogged it up to pieces, swapped over the loadout to something different, then summoned an invasion, put down a Zerg candle, drank a Zerg potion, left him on honey tiles, and also broke a few of the walls to replace them with gates so enemies could go through. He might have a little bit of a hard time getting started. Don't blame me, blame Throbbing, I'm just doing what I was told. Anyways, I'm off.